Hey everybody, and thanks for watching Woodcrest Bonsai. Today I'm going to work on this Premna. And this is a fairly old tree. And we've had so much rain, we've actually had some, I guess you'd call it erosion of the soil in a lot of the pots. So if we look at the nabari on this guy, you can see that right here the roots have all been exposed as if something has been dripping down on it. But I do have some trees that are under other larger trees that, the drips could come from a leaf, but this was out in the open, so not quite sure how that happened. This is also a pretty distinctive tree because of the angularity of the branches, of the trunk, not the branches. It is literally at 90 degrees. And I mulled over having either this is the front or this is the front. So now the way the tree is growing, if we look at it like this, you can see very clearly that the apex is coming towards us if this is the front. However, we're going to need to take off this large branch, and then this branch here is poking us in the eye, and if we do that, 0 back branches. So I'm going to turn it back around, and this is going to be the front. And so I'm going to angle the apex up with some wire like that. And then I'm going to make this the apex with the same angularity. Usually with a tree, you want to have similar angularity all the way through the tree. If this tree was so incredibly angular the way it is, and then we just did this as the apex where it just has that gentle sweep like a lot of my trees have, it just wouldn't look right. It wouldn't look natural. So that's one thing I want to do. And of course we've also got branching that needs to come off. And the first thing we really want to do is take off some of the dead. So this piece is dead right here, and this piece is dead right here. And this would be part of the back branch, but it's way too long. So I'm going to cut it to there. And then our first 2 main branches also have a whole lot of excess growth. Oh, and there's some more dead I didn't even see. And we have some decisions to make on this first main branch here. Do I cut it to here? I mean, in a perfect world it would be coming straight out this way, but it ain't. So do I cut all of this off and leave it to here, or do I bring this down like that? And that would create a kind of a curvature in there. But since the rest of the branches are all coming pretty straight, once again it would not have the continuity. A lot of bonsai, when you look at a tree and you say, wow, that's really nice, it's because it does have that continuity. It has similar branching, similar structure, similar curvature throughout the tree. Something that's out of place like that can just make your eyeball go, what is up with that? So here we go. I'm going to take that guy off. And then I'm going to shorten this one tremendously. And sure, I've got some more dead here. And I'm going to shorten this guy to about right there. I think I'm going to shorten him even a little more. So right away we've got a much cleaner tree. That back branch could be wired to the back or just cut. So we're just going to cut that part that's kind of growing crazy. And then really all that's left to do is to wire that top. I want to wire this forward, and I want to wire this like that so it follows the line. This is a much, much smaller piece of trunk than this, so whenever you're using wire, you kind of pull on the trunk. So, okay, how hard is that to pull on? And then on this one here, it's much easier. So I can probably get away with one piece of wire, but I'm going to need to be careful on this one. So I'm going to select my wire out of my bag of goodies. Or is it box of goodies? Since they are in a box. I wonder if that one would work. This one's probably a little too small to get that. And I can always wire this one later. So let's see if we've got another piece. It's a little bit thicker. Here we go. This should work. And I save all my wire, so this is just an old piece of wire. And even though I want to bring this forward, I'm going to anchor it on the trunk at least a couple of turns. And then usually the rule is the way you want to pull your branch, the wire should be on the opposite side of that, so that when you pull the branch, the wire tightens up. Okay. And I can probably still come up with this one, just wire it much more loosely. And now the bending process. And you know, since the camera is two-dimensional, it really doesn't look like it even needs. But if we go like that, you can see it's very definitely moving away from you if this is the front of the tree, which I have chosen as the front. So thumbs in place, bring it forward. I have my thumbs there, so, and my fingers touching the bark, so if there is any cracking, you can actually feel it. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And then this guy into position like that. Ignore the excess wire because I'm such a saver. Just leave that sticking out like that. Okay, so now if we look at it this way, then we have the apex coming towards us just slightly. Have some back branches, two back branches. So we've got this branch here, which is perfectly placed on the outside of the curve, but there are two, or there's actually, let me get rid of some of the leaves so you can see. You can see there's an older one and a younger one. And I am going to choose the younger one because over time it will make for better proportions. So there we go. And then we notice we have a distance here and a distance here, and then it's a little smaller and a little smaller, so the apex could probably be cut to about right there. And then let the next growth be even a little smaller. And then it just needs to fill in. We're at the middle of September right now, so it's still pretty warm here. Warm and rainy, so we've had a tremendous amount of rain, which is typical for September where I live. So I'm going to give it some fertilizer, even though we're heading into quote-unquote fall. Because I live in Zone 10 in the U.S., fall comes pretty late as far as plants are concerned. So there you go. And there's still some issues with this tree, like the first main branch and the second main branch should be at 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, and if you look, they're 180 degrees. They're at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock, so they could be brought forward at some point in the future. And I don't find that right now. I'm kind of a, I don't know, what would you call it? I like to work my trees in stages. I guess that's about it. So there you go, a fairly old Premna in a pretty interesting oval pot. Very angular. And actually that guy could come down even a little more. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And you can be notified every time I drop a video. Leave a comment if you'd like. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you in the next video.